Hello everybody, Harknova here, getting back to more Let's Play Trails in the Sky the Third. When last we left off, we went through the Golden and Silver Road to clear out Chapter 3. And we learned a little bit more about this place. And we got 2 more Sealing Stones out of it. I wonder who's in it? Shara and probably somebody else. Kevin Graham of the 543rd class of trainees. In the name of the goddess above, I hereby appoint you to a squire of the Septian Church. I humbly accept my appointment. I pledge to offer my soul to the goddess above and both body and blood to her church on earth. Very good. It is exceedingly rare for one at your age to be appointed to this position. I can only assume your aptitudes and training achievements warranted it. May you strive to be a worthy guardian of the goddess's sacraments as her loyal and devoted servant. Well, if it isn't Kevin. I see you managed to avoid having your promotion rejected by the top brass. Splendid, splendid. Instructor, I really can't thank you enough for all you've done for me. I never dreamed I would have an actual Dominion supervising my training. Heh, how sweet of you to say. Hard to believe you're the same boy who waltzed up before the congregation of the sacrament shouting, "Make me a knight, please!" I'd appreciate it if you'd chuck that memory back into your furthest reaches of your mind, thank you. Oh, but how could I? Had I missed your groveling, I never would have taken an interest in you in the first place. And not in a million years would I have thought you were related to Rufina. You could have asked her to take you on as her pupil before resorting to such drastic measures, you silly boy. Well, I had my reasons, let's leave it at that. Huh, very well. It doesn't matter at this point anyway. Congratulations, you are now a dog of the church, just like the rest of us. It's good to have you on board. Thank you. I'm not sure that's the most reassuring metaphor to be using on new recruits, though. You might scare some of them right off. Please, you're not trying to position yourself as some sweet doe-eyed thing, are you? Besides, I think it's a perfectly apt description for us. We go around sniffing out sacraments wherever they may be, tearing through the throats of the heretical fools who are enamored with them all the while. Can you spot the difference? Come on, instructor, I'm used to you at this point, so I don't really care if you call me a dog. But you care if I call your beloved Rufina one, don't you? Not to worry, Kevin. I can read between the lines well enough. Well, did I guess right? I owe her a lot, but I wouldn't call her my beloved. She's just like a big sister to me, that's all. You're making it sound like Like you what, exactly? Rufina? I thought you were in Remiferia on a mission. I was, but I tried to finish as quickly as possible, so I could be back for your appointment ceremony. I'm so proud of you, Kevin. It's amazing just how fast you've grown. Now you're a full-fledged adult like me. Wow, thanks for going out of your way to come here. I'm not sure I deserve to be called an adult yet, though. I've got a whole lot of work ahead of me if I want to be half the knight the two of you are. Oh my, how modest of you. By the way, have you let Reese know about all of this yet? Not yet. I'm planning to write to her tonight. She's been real mad at me ever since I decided to come to Artaria, though. Hopefully this will cheer her up a bit. There's not much else I can do to make up with her short of going home. Perhaps we should do that together at some point if we can find the time. Oh, and while I have the chance, thank you so much for looking after him all this time, Ein. You've given up so much of your free time, and I really do appreciate it. Think nothing of it. It proved quite a fun way to kill time. He has a fair amount of potential in combat arts and thaumaturgy, too. It's a shame all his skills on the practical side of things. However, his academic side is less than stellar. I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that may be the case. Oh, right, I've got to get going. I have to pick up my new room key and medal from the General Affairs guys. Sorry, I'll talk to you later. Oh? What's this? You look so concerned. Feeling guilty because he followed you into such a dangerous line of work? Not at all. That was completely up to him and him alone. I would never try to dictate his life choices. It's just that I think he'll make a fine knight, personally. He checks all the boxes. He's got the potential. He's got the determination. All in all, I can see why you're so proud of him. And call it a hunch, but I wouldn't be surprised if a stigma manifested in him just like it has in you. Well, I'm impressed. I didn't think you could sense that of others if you didn't possess one yourself. Yet one more reason to feel frustrated that you aren't a Dominion. I know we're friends, but there's no need for all the flattery. My combat and thaumaturgy abilities are average at best. I wouldn't be cut out for the job at all. I'm grateful enough to have been promoted from Squire to Knight. That's the upper limit for someone with my lack of potential. If only you saw things the way I do. Someone with average at best abilities couldn't have handled your Ouroboros case half as well as you did. Oh. Fighting off a man of that reported strength to a swift enough conclusion, that would be a pretty feather in anyone's cap. It was just my luck that we both came to an understanding. As far as Kevin goes, he wouldn't need to rely on luck. His potential for growth extends further than I'll ever be able to go. But he has one weakness holding him back. That poor boy is just far too kind. So kind, in fact, that I can see him driving himself into a corner because of it one day. Oh, the Dark Stigma. Chapter Kevin. So we got the Silver Streak. That looks like Oliver and Zin. Zin? Prince Oliver? Now this is a surprise. Don't think this is a dream, at least. Indeed, it is not. I would be overjoyed to share a sweet date with Shara in my dreams. One with such a fine drinking companion. Not so much. Yeah, this is real, alright. Still, doesn't Shara count as a drinking companion too? In a way, it's fine to be drunk with the joy of her company, but it's very much the opposite to be drunk with alcohol involved. That's one of the most important lessons I learned during my stay in the borough. True words never have been spoken. But alright, enough flaying around. You guys mind filling us in on just what kind of situation we've gotten ourselves into? We shall make with the embraces and tearful greetings afterward. Honestly, you two really are something special. You'd think you'd be a little shaken finding yourselves in somewhere as unnatural as this out of nowhere. He's used to it. This is quite the pickle. I appreciate that it may be hard to believe, but that's the situation we find ourselves in at this present time. If we're to try and find a way out, we'll need you to accept that. Oh, Mueller, my sweet rose-kissed muse, ever pure and free of thorns, you misunderstand me. I have long accepted our current predicament as reality. Then why do you look so deep in thought? Need you even ask? Perhaps my life's toughest decision lies ahead of me. Before me I find Joshua, Princess Claudia, Tita, and Josette. Then there's Julia and even a new face, Reese. Just whom shall I gather into my arms like a warm blanket and exchange sweet nothings in celebration first? Only you. Joshua, you were pulling my leg when you said this guy was an Erebonian prince, right? Hard as it is to believe, he is. Putting my deeply earnest dilemma aside for the time being, it sounds as though you've been making some headway in unraveling the mysteries behind this place. Naturally, I would be more than honored to help with that. But first, you've got a few questions you need to ask, right? I know I sure do. I should have known you would be thinking along the same lines. You're exactly right. Fine by me. What do you want to ask? Do you think you figured something out? That's what I want to find out. First, I want to ask about that ghost you encountered in here. Ask away. If I remember correctly, the first time you met her was on the balcony in Gransell Castle, yes? Indeed it was. She gave us the key that allowed us to eventually find and rescue you. That was the first time she appeared to us as a ghost, but I don't believe it was the first time she directly communicated with you. Was it, Father? Don't think so, anyway. When Reese and I first arrived here, we heard a strange voice talking to us. We didn't have a clue who it belonged to at the time, but I think that was probably her too. As do I. So at first she existed here as a voice, but she's gradually started showing up with a body too. I know that's a weird way to put it, but if it's true, it backs up what that man in black said last time we saw him. Yeah, he said the Lord of Phantasma had stolen most of her power, right? He kept referring to her as the Hermit and Master of the Hollow Garden, too. Plus, the inscription on that monument behind us has the Hermit's Garden written on it. I think all of us here can connect the dots just fine. Agreed. It's reasonable to conclude that this very garden is connected to her in some way. That's true. Makes sense to me. It also explains why this place is kinda comfy compared to the other weird fiend-infested places in Phantasma. Feels like we're getting closer to the truth with every new revelation. By the sounds of it, she's been in Phantasma for a while now, possibly since the beginning. But then she had her power stolen by the Lord of Phantasma and ended up without a body. Since then, she's been trying to help us to the best of her abilities and guide us forward. If we assume all that to be true, maybe the monuments scattered throughout are connected to her somehow too. They seem to exist for that same purpose, guiding us forward. I think there's one more thing in our possession that's connected to her as well. That cube, Kevin. You think so? Unfortunately, your guess is as good as mine on exactly what that cube is. That being said, I think the odds of it being connected to her somehow are as high as everything else on the list so far. Well, what do you think? Honestly, I'm impressed. You've done a remarkable job of making sense of a situation when you've only just arrived. Still, if we assume all that to be true, then there's something else we should be doing as we keep moving forward. Hoping to restore her power, I assume? That way, we should be able to ask her what else she knows about the land we're in. Got it in one. I get this impression that if we don't, we won't stand a chance against those two. We'll find ourselves up against a wall at some point. You may well be right. Well, leaving her aside for the time being, I do have one final thing I'd like to ask. Huh? What else is there to cover? It concerns that Lord of Phantasma you kept mentioning, actually. Put simply, you wouldn't happen to have any idea as to who they are, would you, Kevin? Why me? Well, from my perspective, they're awfully fixated on you. They seem to know about Ree's deceased sister as well. Then there's the fact they're even able to summon devils from the church's texts. It all seems to be pointing to you two, and you in particular. I can see why you'd ask, I guess. Unfortunately for you, though, I got nothing. If anything, I'd say they seem to be an enemy of the Gralsritter as a whole, rather than just me. I suppose that's possible. I wouldn't be more surprised if an organization like that had more than their fair share of enemies. No offense, of course. I have plenty of enemies myself. Try not to sound like it's something worth boasting about. Anyway, even if we've connected some dots, we still have we'll have to save the mystery behind who our enemies are for another day. Maybe we can get more information out of them next time we see them, but until then, we don't have enough to work with. Alright, next time one of them shows up, we'll have to see what we can force out of them. So, that about wrap things up for now? If so, we should probably get ready to head out again. We're on plane number 4, and if the previous planes are anything to go by, it's gonna be tough. Kevin. What's up? Do you have something else you wanted to add? No. It's just that I'm not feeling very well, so I'm going to sit the next plane out. What? I'm sorry for the trouble, everyone, but please look out for him on my behalf. He shouldn't cause you too much trouble, but as I'm sure you know, he can be a little careless at times. Reese? Wait a sec! Are you not going to go after her? Sorry, I'll be back in a minute. Reese! Wait a sec! What's with you all of a sudden? Oh, I know. Are you feeling left out because I'm the only one you know here and everyone else is all buddy-buddy? Sorry, Reese. Probably wasn't fun to have to sit through the whole Happy Reunion deal over and over when you can't be a part of it. I should have noticed earlier, really. I've been pretty insensitive, so I'm really sorry, okay? When are you going to stop acting? Huh? It's true that I felt a little left out for a while. You've clearly gone through so much together, and it's made you that much more fond of each other in the days since. Yeah, we had some amazing times. Hard to come out the other end of stuff we did without growing closer through it all. Watching you all, how could I have not felt lonely? How could I have not felt jealous? You've been avoiding me for the past 5 years, Kevin. The thought that you'd grown close to so many others while going out of your way to keep me at arm's reach did make me sad. You know I didn't mean it like that, Reese. But at the same time, I was still happy you did. I knew how badly what happened to Rufina had hurt you. how you were still blaming yourself for it. I knew how you were driving yourself into a corner over it, and how you were taking on nothing but dirty jobs as you were trying to punish yourself. And I couldn't confirm for myself for sure, but I just knew the rumors that you were desperate to burn yourself out through them were true. So that's the reason. That's why, as lonely as I felt when you were off making new friends without me, I was really, really happy more than anything. Reese, you do know that, except it turns out you haven't made any new friends at all. You're pulling the exact same thing you pulled with me on them. Every single one at arm's length. They can't get close to you, you won't get close to them. On the surface, you're a cheerful person having fun with everyone, but on the inside, you're as cold as can be. All you're doing is manipulating your own emotions so people think you're someone you're not. After watching you ever since we were reunited, that's become plain as day to me. Man, I'm happy you're worried about me. But you've totally got the wrong idea with this one. Sorry, I'm good at a lot of things, but pretending to be someone I'm not isn't one of them. When I'm happy, you'll know about it, and when I'm mad, well, I think you know I'm not so good at hiding that either. I'm the same transparent guy I always was. Oh, I didn't say you weren't easy to read, for me at least. After all, I know how genuinely shaken you were by the Lord of Phantasma's message. Their words, and the words of that Schwarzrider, always come across as cryptic, but not to you. Deep down, you know what they're talking about. You just constantly keep it from the rest of us and try to keep us in the dark. No, maybe you've even managed to pull the wool over your own eyes, too. Come on now, you can't seriously devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more? You know exactly what that means, don't you? Go on. You know what? Maybe you should sit this... You know what? Maybe you should sit things out for a bit. You're clearly really tired. What? I get that you're as angry as you are and upset with me, but I think it's starting to make you jump to some really out there conclusions. And being tired out's only going to make it worse. Can't you see how negative your line of thinking is? You can't seriously believe all this is actually true. I'm not saying I don't deserve all the anger. I totally do. I genuinely was busy, but at the same time, I wasn't sure how to face you if we did end up meeting either. Still, we're going to be working together from now on, so enough. Huh? Everything you're saying is just meaningless. Maybe the others don't realize that, but how dare you think I, of all people, would fall for it? I realize I'm turning my back on my duties as a squire by doing this, but I can't bear to be near you any longer. I can't stand to see the Kevin I thought I knew so empty. So... Kevin? Oh, hey. I'm sorry you had to see that. Don't worry about it. I want to know something, Joshua. You've looked into me a fair bit since I first stepped onto the scene, right? I have. I know that you're called the Heretic Hunter. I know that you're one of the 12 dominions that lead the Grolsritter. And I know you undertake the execution of sinners the church deems most unforgivable almost single-handedly. I figured you'd know your stuff. Wouldn't want any guys whose backgrounds you hadn't thoroughly vetted being close to your girlfriend for so long, huh? Can't deny it. Still, the only people you harm are those sinners, never anyone else. So I decided that, for the time being at least, you weren't a threat to her or anyone else. I see. Weissman was your work too, wasn't it? Sure was. My job was to get rid of him. That's it. Everything I did with you guys leading up to that point was to get myself into a position to get it done without him catching on. That includes helping all of you out naturally. Yeah, I know. You must have been aware of the possibility that Estelle would be taken on board the Glorious too. You thought allowing it to happen would help you in the long run, so you kept quiet about it. Wow, now that one I'm surprised you pieced together. But yep, you're absolutely right. I figured there was a chance she might get abducted, but I did exactly nothing to stop it. All I cared about was finding out what Weissman and you were up to. And where you were, for that matter. Couldn't use better bait than that than her. I thought so. And yet all that doesn't change how I'm more grateful than words can express. Why is that? Because if you hadn't helped me back then, I would still be Weissman's puppet. I would have broken with my own two hands what I value most in the whole world. That's a debt I'll never be able to fully repay. Oh, sweet Adios, now you're just being cute. I know you're smart enough to realize that's not at all why I threw you a bone, right? I just wanted him off his guard enough to create the opening I needed. Helping you was the perfect way to do that. That's all there was to it. And again, that doesn't change how grateful I am to you. Knowing why you did what you did doesn't erase the gratitude I feel, not in the slightest. It really is just as well you ended up quitting the Ouroboros. You'd suck to high heaven if you were an enforcer now. Honestly, you're totally right. If Reese is sitting on the sidelines for now, let me help you in her place. I might not be as capable of helping you as she is, but I should be able to back you up. You don't need to feel indebted to me, you know. Well, I'll take what I can get. No doubt you're worried sicko about Estelle, too. So there's her gold star reason for helping out beside me. So thanks. I'm glad you've got my back. Right back at you. Okay, so who do I want to bring? You know, Cheetah's good. But I want to bring...
Your aid, please! All right!
I want to bring the new crew. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna finagle with some things. So, meet you guys back when I'm done. Alright, so we're back, and here's what we're looking like. So Kevin's unchanged. Joshua's slightly changed. This is what I have Olivier set up as, so he can just keep spamming more Death Scream. And this is what I've got Zin set up as. Oh, Titanic Roar. Nice. So he's actually got a lot of really, really strong magic and spells and stuff. But he's weak as shit, so. Anyway, before we head on out, we are going to do a couple of doors. I think that'll be it for this one. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Ah, good day to you all. Ah, mysterious gentle friend. The place you're about to enter is an arena where history's strongest warriors gather and eagerly await new challengers. And today you have the opportunity to be those challengers. Do what you can to emerge victorious. I feel I must warn you, however, that this is a martial arts tournament like no other. Only the best may compete. The rules are simple. First, the 4 of you will form one team and step into the arena. There, your team will face off against 3 others, one after another with no breaks in between. As for the rest, I'm sure you'll pick it up as you go along. So what do you say? Would you be interested in joining us? Yes. Splendid. Well then, if you don't mind following me. Huh. Friggin'. Yo. This looks very... Combine JoJo with Fist of the North Star. And I think that's what you have here. And it's actually kind of the freaking greatest thing ever. And I freaking love it. It's now the moment you've all been waiting for. Tonight, 4 new warriors will be stepping up to the plate and challenging the normal arena. So let's get right to introducing our fierce fighters, shall we? In the blue corner, we are led by Father Kevin Graham of the Septic Church's Grolsritter. Standing against him in the red corner, we have the mysterious team Men in Black. Let the first round begin! Stand up and ready your weapons. Ready? Fight! Alright, so you got some new stuff.
Let's end this. I'll save you!
Yep.
Yeah!
Take that!
Wow, you are pathetic with our stand.
Take that!
So far, not so freaking bad. Then you missed? How are you gonna miss like that, bro? Oh, man.
I'll save you! Yeah!
Top everybody off some heals. And friggin' Shadow Spear. Alright,
Alright, what's next?
easy. The match is decided. The winner is Father Grand's team. Let's keep up this momentum. First, let me introduce who will be fighting in the second round. In the blue corner, led by Father Graham. Against them in the red corner, we have the adorable but deadly Team Creepy Sheepy. Stand on up and ready your weapons. Ready, fight!
Let's end this. I will.
Oh boy.
I'll save you!
Ew, there's some heals.
Enjoy the show.
Match is started and the winner is Father Grandstein. That's me. The moment is upon us at last. It's time for the final round to begin. Will our challengers emerge victorious one last time? You won't have to wait long to find out. Well, allow me to introduce our final teams. Yep. And against him in their corner, we have the Ouroboros affiliated Team Gilbert. Step on up and ready your weapons. Ready? Fight! Nope, I meant to use shadows, but not so blur. Oh well.
Charge complete! I hold. I run.
I call this.
Oh hell, it's like I can't die here. Because freaking Zin's the only one who didn't get freaking mollied by Breaker Cannon. Freaking bullet barrage.
Fight for me!
sucks that I have to use Zin currently as a friggin' all things. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, this is gonna do like no damage.
Charge complete!
Yeah, like there we go. True composure, true withstand. I had to use a couple of celestial bombs here, but I think I'm in the
Fight for me! Charge complete! Son of a...
Yeah, I forgot just how much damage that freaking breaker attack did.
They messed with the wrong guy.
Yeah, I freaking wasn't too keen on using the celestial bombs there, but you gotta do what you gotta do. They've done it. Father Graham's team has conquered the normal arena. Congratulations on your victory. That was quite a show of skill. Your matches were a joy to watch. These are a small token of my appreciation for making this such a fine tournament. Down direct channels a hard arena. If you find one, please do come back here. Okay. Hard story of the arena finished. It is now possible to take on the hard arena. Entering the door with the required item will allow you to challenge it. Interesting. Receive less physical damage, but more magical damage. He is on the front lines a lot. And they got something called the Fool's Emblem. Various stats up, various stats down. So, defense, speed, agility, movement up, but all of my attacking stats down. So, I lose 10 attack, but gain a lot. So I gain a lot more than I lose. Yeah, you gain a lot more than you lose with that. Alright. Alright. So let's go do this door. A quote-unquote short side story, hopefully. I think he's the man who talks to the fists. It is. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. I wonder how long this one's going to be. I see. I sort of expected it would only be a matter of time before you return to the Republic. Your mind is made up then? Afraid so. I've made the guys over there take care of everything without me long enough. Call it an A-rank breaks of duty to his peers in society, I guess. Well, I suppose when you put it that way. I do wish you could stay here a while longer, but if that is your decision, I respect it. So when are you planning on returning? Well, there's no point in lingering here any longer than I have to now that I've made up my mind to leave. So honestly, I was thinking about tomorrow. Think I could ask you to arrange a ticket to Calvert for me? Well, certainly. Are you not planning to go and visit Kilika first, though? I would have thought you'd want to. That was part of the original plan, but she wouldn't have any of it. Surprise, surprise. Her stance was, if you're going to waste time coming to see me, use it to go back to Calvert earlier and get some work done. Haha, very well then. That doesn't sound like a position you'll be able to talk her out of. No big deal, though. I mean, it's not like we'll never see each other again. I suppose that's very true. I'm not sure there's anything in Zemuria that could keep you two apart forever. It feels like that to me sometimes, too. Well, regardless, I won't keep you any longer. So that's one ticket for Calvert for tomorrow, coming right up. Sorry, let me just get this. Yes, this is the Grancel branch of the Bracer Guild. Ah, yes. Yes? He's here as we speak, actually. Zin? Something up? It's Ambassador Cochran of the Calvardian Embassy. She'd like to invite you on a hot springs trip. What? Two days later. This place sure brings back memories. The atmosphere is so relaxing. It certainly is. Maybe because it feels so similar to our hometown. Still, Ambassador Cochran had me going for a while. When I first heard about this whole trip, I thought it was going to be the two of us out here. Oh my, you look almost disappointed that it isn't. I'd be happy to take my leave if I'm getting in the way of your dream date with her. I'm good, thanks. She's not someone I've ever seen as a potential partner. Besides, it's you she wants to talk to, not me. This meeting might as well not be happening if you're not here. It never takes much to put you on the defensive, does it? Is it beyond you to play along a little? Gah! You just can't help but mess with people, can you? With you in charge of the Zeiss Guild, I'm amazed it still has any bracers left. Correction, I can't help but mess with you. I don't do this with anyone else. Would you be happy if that were true? Hell no! Ah, you've arrived. I've been waiting for you. Hey, Ambassador. Thank you for inviting us here today. Is something the matter, Zin? You seem oddly flustered. Me? I'm just fine. You're imagining things. Who could blame him, Ambassador? After all, he's a man on a hot spring trip with two beautiful women. That's hardly a recipe for a calm and composed mind, is it? Knock it off, Kilika. I suppose not. If I were a little younger, I doubt I would be able to keep my hands off him myself. Alright, I suppose that's enough joking around. We should get our dinner. Mrs. Mao is the one making tonight's food herself, by the sounds of it. The serious discussion can wait until after that. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Likewise. So there's going to be a new intelligence agency set up in Calvert, huh? That's right. It's going to be known as the Rocksmith Agency. And as the name suggests, it's going to be an organization that answers directly to the President. Really now? I see. I presume that is the Parliament. I assume that is so that the Parliament can't have any influence over its operations? Correct. Perhaps this new agency's biggest advantage is that it's separate from all those issues and vices. The last thing we need is an organization like this suffering from Parliament's failures to make prompt decisions or general ineptitude. Or being run in the same opaque, shady manner by a privileged few. And that does sound like a good idea, I'll admit. We're never going to be able to compare to the Empire's intelligence division or the borough's old one if Parliament is all involved. Quite. It's already difficult enough to get anything done in a nation with such a lack of unity. I guess that's just the fate of countries that take in immigrants by the truckload, though. Though honestly, I think the thing that surprises me most is that the president's actually being proactive for once. He's always struck me as the real conservative type, so this isn't the kind of thing I thought he'd go for. That said, given the state of the Republic right now, it's hardly surprising that he would choose to act this way. Outside the country, we've got the threat of a rapidly expanding Erebonian Empire, while within we have terrorists and extremists. And to make matters worse, we have the enigmatic society on the loose. Evidently, something has to be done, and I think he knows that as well as anyone. Indeed. In the times ahead of us, we're going to need to be able to respond flexibly to a variety of new and unforeseen threats. Alright, I think my introduction to the matter has gone on long enough. It's about time I get to the point. Oh yeah, you've got something you need to specifically talk to Kilika about, right? So, what position in the agency are you here to offer me? What? I love a sharp mind, Kilika. Your instincts are, of course, dead on. We think your talents would make you perfectly suited to joining the agency and are eager for you to be a part of it. That's why you will be offered a position of Division Chief should you decide to join. And that's something President Rocksmith has proposed himself. Wow. What led you to being the one to bring this to Kilika anyway? A fair question, I suppose. Ordinarily, this would be a scout's work. But I've known the President on a personal level for quite some time now, so he took it upon himself to ask me to come to you personally. That makes sense. Then what's his reason for wanting me? Surely you know that without asking, or do you want to hear it said anyway? Naturally, your master-class Taito skills are one reason for you being selected by the President, but above all, he wants you for your exceptional analytical and information handling abilities you've shown in your position in the Guild. Those are just what the new agency is going to require if it's to succeed. Well, I can't say it all doesn't make sense to me. I'm more dumbfounded that you'd up and attempt to steal a capable member of the Guild right in front of an active racer like this. That takes some nerve. Well, I do think rather highly of you. I thought you would be able to mediate without letting such trivial matters cloud your judgment. Still, what do you think, Kilika? I'm not asking for an answer immediately, but I would like to know what's going through your mind. Well, it's certainly an interesting proposal. At the same time, I'm not sure I have any reason to accept it. But you have no reason to refuse it either. Am I right? Well, it's rare that you find it difficult to make quick judgments, but with such a big decision to make, I can't very well fault you. I won't rush you. Take a night to think long and hard about it. It was so you could do that I booked a room here tonight. I'll ask for your answer again tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Of course. Oh, and one more thing before I depart. If you ask me, remaining in your position as a simple guild receptionist just isn't going to let you use your abilities to their fullest. Well, a pleasant night to you both. You're out rather fast. Have you finished in the bath already? Fast? Seriously? I was in there for an hour. Oh. Man, it's not often I see you looking this deep in thought. I suppose you don't. I feel like I'm one step away from making a decision, but I just need one last push to take it. Oh, right. Still, being here like this with you really takes me back. Hard to believe it's been 6 years now since Master Ryuga's passing. Sounds like you went on a hell of a journey between then and joining the guild, too. You could say that. Going on a journey makes it sound like something I did deliberately, though. In reality, it wasn't quite as organized as that. I simply drifted from place to place before I ended up being drawn to one point where I settled. Ugh. Much in the way a leaf that fell from a tree ends up floating down the river. Were you able to find that answer you mentioned a while back? No, I still haven't. Still. I do feel as though I found a conclusion of sorts. What's that supposed to mean? Say, Zin? Why do you think I chose to take on a non-combat position like guild receptionist to begin with? Because you didn't want to follow the same path as idiots like me and Walter? I wouldn't follow us either if I were in your shoes. Not quite, although I'm not going to deny that the two of you are idiots. Hey, that was the one part I did want you to deny. I wanted to find out the meaning of the living fist ideology my father advocated. I still believe that being able to better oneself through combat while your opponent does the same is a good thing in itself. As a warrior, it's probably close to the ideal way. Still, I couldn't help but wonder why the ideology had to be based around the premise of fighting. I can certainly understand the significance of living and dying as a warrior. I can also understand how one who lived that way would have no regrets when the time to pass away came. Nothing has changed within me in that regard since the days we trained together. Yet with Father dead and Walter gone, I couldn't help but wonder. Wonder whether there was some way to make use of the living fist without having to fight. That's when I started roaming the continent in search of one. And as I roamed, I found myself face to face with countless conflicts and acts of violence. And I felt powerless every time I did. That was how I came to encounter Liberl's guild. They had arrived to quell one of those conflicts. Something about their ideology, putting the safety of civilians over all else, made me feel that perhaps working under them may give me my answer. So that was what led me to start working for the guild. But even then, I wasn't able to run away from the fighting completely. The nature of humanity means that as long as we exist, conflict will never cease. Instead, what's important is not blindly preaching idealism, but preaching ideals while keeping a firm eye on the reality of how to quell the conflict. Master Yuga's words have never left me, nor have they left me. But all the same, I've been looking away from reality all this time. Come on now. You know full well that's not actually true. When he says reality, he's not saying fighting is the be-all, end-all of quelling conflict. That's not what I'm trying to say. All these years, I haven't been trying to walk on my own 2 feet. Not at all. I've just been trying to find a new way to live by Father's living fist ideology as an excuse to stand still, all while indulging myself in the comfortable environment the guild gave me. In that sense, I must be the biggest failure of Father's students. I might not agree with the path Walter took, but he, like you, has chosen his own path and started walking forward along it. You two have been facing up to the living fist ideal of Father's and slowly reaching your own conclusions on it. In your own ways, you've been able to face up to reality. And I haven't. I've been standing still the whole time. That's the biggest load of crock I've ever heard. You've been walking forward just like we have. In what way? It's just that the path you've been walking has been one for others rather than for yourself. The river you think you've been helplessly drifting through? You've actually been building a bridge so others can easily cross it behind you. When the road is hard, you soften the ground so your fellow guildmates have an easier trek. There's no shame in your way of the living fist. It's as true as mine and Walter's. Are you trying to comfort me? Sorry for not having a way with words. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is this, you know, as a person, you're way too strong and way too serious. And at times, it's like those two things just end up restricting you and stopping you from seeing things you otherwise could. So try and relax a little, alright? Just a little. If you do, I'll bet you'll start seeing things you couldn't before. Say, Zin? What is it? Would you be happy if I returned to Calvard? Oh, what brought that on? It doesn't matter, just answer the question. Okay. If I had to pick, I guess I'd rather you be back home, yeah? Why do you ask? Oh, no reason. I've decided I'm going to accept the President's proposal. What? Just because of what I said? Don't misunderstand me. All I wanted was some kind of reason to bring this journey to an end, as well as a place to make better use of my skills. And you have that. Ah, that was the best night's sleep I've had in some time. I hope the two of you enjoyed your stay as well. I know I did. I'm feeling very refreshed, thank you. Refreshed enough to feel ready to take on a new position in a new environment, even. Then, I would like to accept your offer. However, I have one condition for doing so. Oh, name it. While I am willing to join the President's new agency, I am not willing to stop living in the line of with my own beliefs. As such, if I should end up feeling the slightest doubt about how the agency itself is being run, I will do everything in my power to correct it from inside using any means at my disposal. If he still wants my membership after hearing as much, please tell him that I accept his offer. Oh, that won't be a problem at all. I think he may well be encouraging you to take the reins. I believe he chose you expecting you to fulfill that role should it be deemed necessary. After all, you have experience in the guild, an organization which has managed to remain neutral and independent all this time. That's no mean feat. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Also, I'll need to get things ready for my successor, so I won't be able to return to Calvard for 2 or 3 months. As such, I won't be able to start work till then. That's perfectly understandable. Well, I look forward to meeting you again in the Republic. Likewise. Is something on your mind? Oh, I was just thinking about what you said back there. You said you'll need 2 or 3 months to get everything ready for your successor, right? Yes, I did. What of it? Well, while I'm guessing it's pretty busy over in Calvard right now, too, it doesn't sound as though there's anything so urgent I need to be there now. So I was thinking maybe I could stay here for the next few months while you get things sorted out before I head back. You can't be serious. There's no reason why you should stay around here in Laverne with me. Go back to Calvard. You don't have to be so cold. It's me, you know. Well, it's the truth. We'll end up spending enough time together whether we like it or not after I'm home. You don't need to go out of your way to make it more now. Well, you win. There's no need to rush things. Zin, what are you standing there for? Oh? Sorry. You can say that before starting to walk off on your own, though. Oh. Like, I know her and Walter were a thing, but I want her and Zin to be a thing. Side story, Journey's End finished. Yin Yang. What's Yin Yang do again? I can't remember. Combines the effects of haze and heal. It's not bad. I don't want it, but it's not bad. I don't know what kind of side story this door is going to have, but we're going to tackle this next time. Until then, everybody, this has been Ark Nova playing Trails in the Sky the Third. Stay cool.